the Quran, and the Bible. These books are not only religious books, they are books that shaped civilizations. They influenced laws, cultures, languages, families, education, art, literature, and the way billions of people understand life. For many people, these books answer the biggest questions of human existence. Who created us? Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? What is right and wrong? How should we treat other people? What happens after death? How can a person live with faith, hope, patience, and morality? This topic is important because the Quran and the Bible are followed, studied, discussed, and debated all over the world. They have inspired people to pray, forgive, help others, build communities, and search for meaning. At the same time, many people misunderstand these books because they only hear arguments, short clips, or half information. So today, we will understand this topic in a simple and clear way. We will learn what the Quran and the Bible are. We will understand why they matter. We will see how they shaped human history. And we will explore the important life messages found in them. This video is only for learning and understanding. The goal is not to attack anyone. The goal is to understand two great holy books in a calm and knowledgeable way. Part 1. What is the Quran? The Quran is the holy book of Islam. Muslims believe that the Quran is the word of God revealed to Prophet Muhammad. It was revealed in Arabic. The Quran is divided into chapters called surahs. Each surah has verses called ayahs. For Muslims, the Quran is the main source of guidance. It teaches people how to believe, how to pray, how to live, how to treat others, and how to stay connected with God. One of the central messages of the Quran is belief in one God. This is called Tawheed. Tawheed means that God is one, unique, and above everything. The Quran teaches that human beings are created with purpose. Life is not meaningless. Life is a test of faith, actions, patience, honesty, and character. The Quran talks about prayer, charity, fasting, justice, forgiveness, family, kindness, patience, and responsibility. It also speaks about earlier prophets, such as Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. In Islam, these prophets are respected as messengers of God. The Quran also teaches that every person is responsible for their actions. This is an important idea. A person's words matter. A person's behavior matters. A person's honesty matters. A person's intention matters. The Quran reminds people that life is temporary, but actions have value. For example, if a person helps the poor, speaks the truth, controls anger, forgives others, and lives with patience, these actions are meaningful. The Quran also strongly talks about justice. It teaches that people should not cheat, lie, oppress others, or misuse power. It reminds human beings to be fair, even when it is difficult. This is why the Quran is not only about worship. It is also about how a person behaves in real life, how they speak, how they earn, how they treat parents, how they help society, how they control desires, how they respond to hardship. For many Muslims, reading the Quran gives peace and strength. Some read it daily. Some memorize it. Some listen to its recitation. Some study its meaning deeply. Because the Quran is in Arabic, many Muslims around the world learn Arabic pronunciation to recite it. But they also study translations to understand the meaning. The Quran has influenced Islamic civilization for centuries. It influenced education, law, poetry, architecture, calligraphy, family life, and social values. Beautiful mosques, Arabic calligraphy, Islamic scholarship, and many traditions were shaped by the Quran. So, in simple words, the Quran is a book of faith, guidance, worship, morality, and purpose for Muslims. It teaches that life should be lived with awareness of God, good actions, justice, patience, and responsibility. Part 2. What is the Bible? The Bible is the holy book of Christianity. Christians believe that the Bible is inspired by God and contains God's message for human beings. The Bible is not one small book. It is a collection of many books written over a long period of time. It has two main parts: the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament includes creation stories, history, laws, poetry, wisdom, prayers, and prophecies. It is also connected to the Jewish religious tradition. It includes stories of important figures such as Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, and many prophets. The New Testament focuses mainly on Jesus Christ. It talks about his birth, life, teachings, miracles, death, resurrection, and the early Christian community. For Christians, Jesus is central to their faith. They believe he is the Son of God and the Savior of humanity. The Bible teaches many powerful messages. It teaches love. It teaches forgiveness. It teaches faith. It teaches humility. It teaches service. It teaches prayer. It teaches people to care for the weak, the poor, the sick, and the suffering. One of the most famous messages connected with the Bible is love for God and love for others. This idea is very important in Christianity. The Bible teaches that faith should not be only words. Faith should be shown through actions. For example, helping someone in need, forgiving someone, speaking truth, showing mercy, living with humility, serving others, choosing goodness even when life is difficult. The Bible also talks about human weakness. It shows that people make mistakes. People feel fear. People struggle with temptation. People fall, regret, and search for forgiveness. This makes the Bible deeply human. It does not only show perfect people, it shows real human struggles. That is one reason many people connect with it emotionally. They find comfort in its stories. They find hope in its promises. They find direction in its teachings. They find strength during pain. The Bible has shaped world history in a huge way. It influenced Western civilization, churches, art, music, literature, education, laws, social movements, and moral thinking. Many famous paintings, poems, songs, speeches, and books were inspired by biblical stories and ideas. The Bible has also been translated into many languages. This made it one of the most widely read books in the world. People read it at home, in churches, in schools, in study groups, and in personal prayer. So, in simple words, the Bible is a book of faith, history, teaching, hope, and moral guidance for Christians. It teaches people to love God, love others, forgive, serve, pray, and live with faith and purpose. Both the Quran and the Bible are deeply connected to human history. They are not only books kept on shelves. They are books that live in the prayers, cultures, homes, and hearts of billions of people. Part 3. Common messages and major differences. After understanding what the Quran is and what the Bible is, now let us understand something very important. What messages do these books give? And how are they similar or different? The Quran and the Bible come from two different religious traditions. The Quran is central to Islam. The Bible is central to Christianity. They are not the same book. They have different structures. They have different histories. They have different beliefs in some important areas. But they also speak about many similar human values. Let us understand this in a simple way. First, both books talk about God. The Quran teaches belief in one God. In Islam, God is one, unique, and has no partner. Muslims call God Allah. The Bible also teaches belief in God. For Christians, God is central to life, faith, creation, and salvation. But Christianity has a different understanding of God, especially through the belief in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So both books speak about God, but they explain some beliefs differently. This is one of the most important differences. Second, both books teach that life has purpose. They do not present life as meaningless. They teach that human beings are not here only to eat, sleep, work, and die. Life has a deeper meaning. Life is connected to faith. Life is connected to actions. Life is connected to morality. Life is connected to the relationship between human beings and God. This message is powerful because many people feel lost in life. They ask, why am I here? What should I do with my life? How should I live? Both books try to answer these deep questions. Third, both books teach moral living. Moral living means choosing right over wrong, being honest, being kind, being fair, helping others, avoiding cruelty, avoiding pride, avoiding greed, avoiding injustice. The Quran teaches people to be truthful, patient, charitable, humble, and responsible. The Bible also teaches people to be loving, forgiving, humble, faithful, and compassionate. Both books show that faith should not stay only in words. Faith should be seen in actions. For example, if a person says they believe in God, but they cheat people, hurt others, lie, and spread hate, then their actions are not matching their faith. This is a very important lesson. True belief should improve character. Fourth, both books talk about prayer. Prayer is a way to connect with God. For Muslims, prayer is a daily duty and an important part of life. It gives discipline, spiritual connection, and remembrance of God. For Christians, prayer is also very important. It is a way to speak to God, ask for help, give thanks, and find strength. Prayer reminds people that they are not alone. It gives comfort during difficult times. It gives hope when life feels heavy. It gives peace when the heart is disturbed. Fifth, both books speak about charity and helping others. They teach that people should not live only for themselves. They should care about the poor, the weak, the hungry, the suffering, the lonely, the helpless. In the Quran, giving to those in need is strongly encouraged. In Islam, charity is a major part of faith. In the Bible also, helping the poor, showing mercy, and caring for others are very important teachings. This shows us one beautiful truth. A spiritual life is not only about prayer, it is also about how we treat people. Sixth, both books talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not always easy. When someone hurts us, the heart becomes heavy. Anger grows, pain stays. But both books teach that forgiveness is powerful. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. It does not mean injustice should be ignored. It means the heart should not be destroyed by hatred forever. Forgiveness can bring peace. It can heal relationships. It can free a person from emotional burden. This is why forgiveness is a powerful message in both traditions. Seventh, both books speak about patience during hardship. Life is not always easy. People face sickness, failure, loss, poverty, fear, loneliness, disappointment. The Quran teaches patience and trust in God during difficult times. The Bible also teaches faith, hope, and endurance during suffering. Both books remind people that pain is not the end of life. A difficult season can teach strength. A painful moment can build character. A person can fall and rise again. This message gives hope to millions of people. Now let us talk about important differences. The Quran and the Bible do not agree on every belief. One major difference is about Jesus. In Christianity, Jesus Christ is central. Christians believe Jesus is the Son of God and the Savior. They believe in his death and resurrection. In Islam, Jesus is also respected, but in a different way. Muslims believe Jesus is a great prophet and messenger of God. They do not believe he is God or the Son of God. So both traditions speak about Jesus, but their beliefs about him are different. Another difference is the structure of the books. The Quran is one book in Arabic, divided into surahs and ayahs. Muslims believe it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. The Bible is a collection of many books written by different authors over a long period of time. It includes history, law, poetry, wisdom, prophecy, letters, and the teachings connected to Jesus and early Christianity. So the Quran and the Bible are different in form, history, and religious meaning. Another difference is how followers use the books. Muslims recite the Quran in Arabic in prayer. Many Muslims also memorize parts of the Quran, and some memorize the full Quran. Christians read the Bible in many languages. They study it in churches, homes, and personal prayer. Both communities treat their holy book as guidance, but their methods and traditions are different. This part teaches us something important. To understand any religion, we must not only look at arguments. We must understand the book, the belief, the history, and the people who follow it. If we only listen to small clips or angry debates, we may misunderstand everything. But when we study calmly, we learn better. The Quran and the Bible have both shaped human life in powerful ways. They have guided people. They have inspired art, literature, music, education, and culture. They have given comfort during suffering. They have helped people understand morality, faith, hope, and purpose. They have also been discussed, interpreted, translated, and studied for centuries. So the reality is this: the Quran and the Bible are not just books of religion. They are books connected to human civilization. They are connected to history. They are connected to culture. They are connected to identity. They are connected to the deepest questions of life. And whether a person follows Islam, Christianity, another religion, or no religion, understanding these books can help us understand the world better. Because to understand human history, we must understand the books that shaped human thinking. And the Quran and the Bible are two of the most influential books ever known. Part 4. How the Quran and the Bible shaped the world. Now let us understand how the Quran and the Bible shaped the world. These books did not stay only inside places of worship. They moved into daily life. They influenced families. They influenced education. They influenced law. They influenced language. They influenced art. They influenced literature. They influenced politics. They influenced culture. They influenced the way people think about right and wrong. This is why these books are so important in world history. For believers, the Quran and the Bible are holy books. But even from a historical point of view, they are also powerful books that changed civilizations. The Quran deeply shaped Islamic civilization. It influenced the Arabic language. It inspired Islamic scholarship. It influenced poetry, calligraphy, architecture, law, education, and social life. Many beautiful mosques, schools, libraries, and centers of learning were created in Muslim societies. The Quran encouraged people to think about faith, knowledge, justice, charity, patience, and responsibility. In many Muslim communities, children learn Quranic recitation from a young age. Many people memorize chapters. Some memorize the whole Quran. People listen to recitation for peace and spiritual connection. The Quran also created a strong connection between Muslims from different countries. A Muslim in India, Indonesia, Egypt, Turkey, Nigeria, or America may speak different languages, but the Quran connects them through Arabic recitation and shared belief. This is one reason the Quran has such a strong place in Islamic life. It is not only read, it is recited, it is memorized, it is studied, it is used for prayer, it is used for guidance, it is used for comfort. The Bible also deeply shaped world history. It influenced Christianity, churches, education, art, music, literature, law, and social life. Many famous paintings, songs, poems, books, and speeches were inspired by biblical stories and teachings. The Bible influenced many societies in Europe, the Americas, Africa, and other parts of the world. It was translated into many languages, which helped many people read religious teachings in their own language. For Christians, the Bible is a guide for faith, prayer, worship, and daily life. People read it in churches. They read it at home. They study it in groups. They use it during important life moments: birth, marriage, sickness, loss, hope, prayer. The Bible gives many people emotional strength during difficult times. It teaches them to trust God, forgive others, love people, and continue with faith. Both books also influenced education. For many centuries, religious places were also places of learning. People studied language, writing, law, philosophy, history, and moral teachings. In many parts of the world, religious communities helped preserve knowledge. They copied texts. They built libraries. They taught students. They created schools. This is why religion and education were often connected in history. Both books also influenced language. Many common words, sayings, names, stories, and expressions came from religious traditions. People use names from the Quran and the Bible. People use moral ideas from these books in speeches and conversations. Even people who are not deeply religious may still know some stories, names, or teachings from these books because they are part of culture. Both books also influenced art and architecture. The Quran inspired beautiful Arabic calligraphy. Because Islamic art often avoids showing holy figures, calligraphy became a very important art form. Words from the Quran were written beautifully on paper, walls, mosques, and buildings. Islamic architecture developed domes, arches, geometric patterns, and peaceful spaces for prayer. The Bible inspired many paintings, sculptures, churches, stained glass windows, music, and literature. Many artists painted scenes from biblical stories. Many musicians created songs and compositions inspired by Christian faith. Many writers used biblical themes such as sacrifice, forgiveness, sin, hope, and redemption. So these books shaped not only belief, but also beauty. They shaped how people built, painted, wrote, sang, and expressed deep feelings. Both books also influenced moral thinking. They teach that life should not be only about personal desire. They remind people to think about responsibility. How do you treat your parents? How do you treat the poor? How do you speak the truth? How do you forgive? How do you control anger? How do you live with honesty? How do you help people? How do you stay humble? These questions are not only religious questions, they are human questions. Every society needs moral values. Without honesty, trust becomes weak. Without justice, society becomes unfair. Without compassion, people become cruel. Without forgiveness, relationships become heavy. Without responsibility, life becomes careless. That is why these books are powerful. They speak about the inner life of human beings, not only outside actions, but also intention, character, faith, pride, greed, mercy, love, patience, hope. The Quran and the Bible also shaped social service. Many people were inspired by religious teachings to help the poor, feed the hungry, care for the sick, educate children, and support people in difficulty. Of course, human history is not perfect. Sometimes people used religion wrongly. Sometimes people used holy words for politics, control, violence, or hatred. Sometimes people fought in the name of religion. Sometimes people misunderstood or misused teachings. This is also part of history, but it teaches us something important. A holy book can guide people toward goodness, but human beings must understand it with wisdom. If people read without wisdom, they may become extreme. If people use religion only for power, they may hurt others. If people focus only on argument, they may miss the deeper message. So the important question is not only, what does the book say? The important question is also, how do people understand it? How do people live it? Does it make them more honest? Does it make them more kind? Does it make them more responsible? Does it make them more peaceful? Does it make them more humble? This is where real learning begins. Another important reality is that the Quran and the Bible are studied in different ways. Believers study them with faith. Scholars study them with history, language, culture, and interpretation. Some people study them for religion. Some study them for literature. Some study them for world history. Some study them to understand society. Some study them to understand human belief. This is why these books are discussed in universities, libraries, religious schools, churches, mosques, and homes. They are not small topics. They are connected to world civilization. If you want to understand the Middle East, Europe, Africa, America, South Asia, and many other regions, you must understand the influence of religion. If you want to understand history, you must understand the role of holy books. If you want to understand people, you must understand what gives them meaning, because people do not live only by food, money, and work. People also live by belief, hope, identity, purpose, tradition, prayer, memory, faith. The Quran and the Bible gave these things to billions of people. This is why we should study them carefully. Not through anger, not through short clips, not through hate, not through half-knowledge, but through patient learning. Read, listen, ask, study the history, understand the context, understand the beliefs, understand the people. Because when we understand deeply, we become wiser. We may still have different beliefs. We may still disagree. But we can disagree without hatred. We can learn without insulting. We can ask questions without attacking. That is mature thinking. Final thought for this part. The reality of the Quran and the Bible is not simple. They are holy books for believers. They are historical books for scholars. They are cultural books for societies. They are moral books for millions of families. They are sources of comfort for people in pain. They are sources of identity for communities. They are sources of debate, study, prayer, and meaning. They have shaped the world in a very deep way. So whether someone follows Islam, Christianity, another religion, or no religion, learning about these books helps us understand humanity better. Because to understand the world, we must understand what people believe. And to understand people, we must understand the books, stories, values, and hopes that guide their lives. Part 5. What we can learn from the Quran and the Bible today. Now, after understanding the Quran, the Bible, their messages, their differences, and their influence on history, let us ask one final question. What can we learn from them today? This is important because holy books are not only connected to the past, they still guide people in the present. Millions of people read them every day. Millions of people pray through them. Millions of people find hope, strength, and direction from them. The Quran and the Bible teach that human life is not only about eating, working, earning money, and dying. Life has meaning. Life has responsibility. Life has moral choices. Every day, human beings choose between truth and lies, kindness and cruelty, patience and anger, forgiveness and revenge, peace and hatred, good actions and bad actions. Both books remind people that actions matter. What you say matters. How you treat people matters. How you use power matters. How you help others matters. How you live when nobody is watching also matters. This is a very important lesson for today's world. Because today, people have more technology, more information, and more speed. But still, many people feel lost. Many people are stressed. Many people are angry. Many people are lonely. Many people are confused about life. This is why spiritual and moral teachings are still important. They remind us to slow down and ask, am I living with honesty? Am I treating people properly? Am I helping others? Am I controlling my anger? Am I using my words carefully? Am I becoming a better human being? These questions are powerful. The Quran and the Bible also teach that pride can destroy a person. When people become too proud, they stop learning. They stop listening. They stop respecting others. They think they are always right. But humility makes a person wiser. A humble person can learn. A humble person can apologize. A humble person can improve. A humble person can accept truth. This lesson is useful for everyone. Both books also teach the importance of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not easy. When someone hurts us, we remember the pain. We may feel angry. We may want revenge. But forgiveness can free the heart. It does not mean we accept injustice. It does not mean we allow people to hurt us again and again. It means we do not let hatred control our whole life. Forgiveness can bring peace. It can make the heart lighter. It can help people move forward. The Quran and the Bible also teach compassion. Compassion means feeling concern for others and trying to help when we can. A compassionate person does not ignore suffering. They care about the poor. They care about the weak. They care about the sick. They care about people who are struggling. This is a very important message, because a society becomes better when people care for each other. If everyone thinks only about themselves, the world becomes cold. But when people help one another, life becomes more human. Another important lesson is justice. Justice means fairness. It means not cheating people, not oppressing people, not misusing power, not treating others badly because they are weak. Both books teach that human beings should live with fairness and responsibility. This message is still needed today. In families, in schools, in workplaces, in governments, in society. Justice is not only a big word for courts and leaders. Justice begins in daily life. When you speak truth, when you treat people fairly, when you do not take advantage of others, when you stand against wrong actions, when you do what is right, even when it is difficult. These books also teach patience. Life is full of tests. People face loss, failure, sickness, delay, pain, disappointment, confusion. The Quran and the Bible both give hope to people during hard times. They remind people that pain is not the end. They teach people to stay strong, to pray, to trust, to continue, to believe that difficult times can teach something. This message gives strength to many people. Now, one more thing is very important. If we want to understand the Quran and the Bible, we should not learn only from short clips, arguments, or angry debates. Short clips can mislead people. Half information can create confusion. Angry debates can create hate. To understand any holy book, we need patience. We need context. Context means understanding the time, place, language, situation, and meaning behind the text. For example, one sentence can be misunderstood if we remove it from its full chapter. One teaching can be misused if we do not understand its background. That is why serious study is important. Read carefully. Ask knowledgeable people. Study history. Understand language. Listen to different explanations. And do not use religion only to win arguments. Use knowledge to become wiser. The Quran and the Bible are also important for English learners. Why? Because these topics help you learn powerful vocabulary. Words like faith, belief, morality, justice, mercy, forgiveness, compassion, patience, wisdom, purpose, and responsibility. These are not only English words, these are life words. When you learn them, your English becomes deeper. You can speak about history. You can speak about religion. You can speak about culture. You can speak about human values. You can explain big ideas in simple English. That is real learning. So while listening to this video, do not only listen for information. Practice English also. Repeat useful sentences. For example, the Quran is the holy book of Islam. The Bible is the holy book of Christianity. Both books shaped human history. They teach faith, morality, patience, and responsibility. We should study them with knowledge and understanding. These sentences are simple, but they are very useful. They help you speak about a serious topic in clear English. The Quran and the Bible are two of the most influential books in human history. For believers, they are sacred books. For historians, they are important sources for understanding civilizations. For societies, they are connected to culture, values, law, language, art, and identity. For millions of people, they are sources of comfort, prayer, hope, and purpose. They are different books. They belong to different religious traditions. They have different beliefs in important areas. But both have shaped the way people think about God, life, morality, suffering, hope, and human responsibility. The main purpose of this video is not to create argument. The purpose is to learn, to understand, to speak carefully, to think deeply, and to respect the fact that faith is very important in people's lives. This video is only for education and understanding. It is not made to insult any religion. It is not made to hurt anyone's belief. It is not made to create hate. It is made to explain the topic in simple English. Because when we understand more, we judge less. When we learn more, we become wiser. And when we speak with knowledge, we can discuss even sensitive topics in a better way. So keep learning, keep asking questions, keep improving your English, and keep building a mind that is full of knowledge, peace, and understanding. 5 lessons from the Quran and the Bible. Lesson 1. Faith gives people hope. One big lesson from the Quran and the Bible is that faith gives people hope. Life is not always easy. People face pain, loss, fear, sickness, failure, and confusion. During difficult times, faith helps many people stay strong. It reminds them that they are not alone. It gives them courage to continue. It gives them peace when life feels heavy. This lesson teaches us that human beings need hope. Without hope, life becomes very dark. But with faith, people can stand again, pray again, try again, and believe that life still has meaning. Lesson 2. Actions matter more than words. Another important lesson is that actions matter. It is easy to say, "I am a good person." It is easy to speak about faith, kindness, and truth. But real character is shown through actions. How do you treat people? Do you speak honestly? Do you help others? Do you forgive? Do you control your anger? Do you care about the poor and weak? Both the Quran and the Bible remind us that belief should change behavior. Good faith should create good character. This lesson is simple. Do not only talk about goodness, live it. Lesson 3. Every human being needs moral guidance. The Quran and the Bible teach that life needs morality. Morality means understanding right and wrong. Without moral guidance, people can become selfish, proud, greedy, and cruel. A society becomes better when people choose honesty, justice, mercy, patience, and compassion. These books teach people to think before they act. They remind us that our words can heal or hurt. Our choices can build or destroy. Our behavior can bring peace or pain. This lesson is very useful for today's world because technology is growing fast, but human character is still the most important thing. Lesson 4. Forgiveness can free the heart. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful lessons in this topic. Both the Quran and the Bible speak about forgiveness, mercy, and letting go of hatred. Forgiveness does not mean you accept wrong actions. It does not mean you allow people to hurt you again and again. It means you do not let anger control your whole life. Many people carry old pain for years. They remember every hurtful word. They carry every betrayal. They keep their heart full of bitterness. But forgiveness can make the heart lighter. It helps people move forward. It gives emotional freedom. This lesson teaches us that peace is more important than revenge. Lesson 5. Knowledge should create understanding, not hate. When we study the Quran, the Bible, or any holy book, we should not study only to argue. We should study to understand. Religion is deeply connected to people's hearts, families, cultures, and identity. So we should speak carefully. We can ask questions. We can learn history. We can understand differences. But we should not use half knowledge to create hate. Real knowledge makes a person wiser. It makes a person more humble. It helps people understand each other better. This lesson is powerful. The more we understand, the less we judge blindly. And the more we learn, the more peaceful our mind becomes.